under the State Wetland Protection Act, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Hanson Local Bylaw, Article 3-13, Section 5. This opening statement will apply for business conducted at this meeting. This meeting of the Hanson Conservation Commission will be audio recorded. Roll call, members present, please.
Steve Smith. Ed Heal.
Dave Mansfield.
Lon Woodward.
Frank Skellinger.
Okay. First order of business, you got this right? There's a request for a determination of applicability, and the clerk will read that, please.
The Hanson Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, October 16th, 2024, at 6:30 p.m. at the Hanson Town Hall Selectmen's Meeting Room, 542 Liberty Street, Hanson, Mass., pursuant to a request for determination of applicability by Stephen Hilson, Parcel and Project. A proposal to construct a 16 by 20-foot deck at rear of house within 100 feet of bordering vegetated wetlands located at 221 Laquan Street, map 71, lot 10A. The applicant is filing under Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Hanson Wetlands Protection Bylaw, 3-13, Section 5, and Rules and Regulations. Hanson Conservation Commission, T.J. Ropey, Jr., Chairman.
Okay. This is your proposal, sir?
I don't know what that is, so usually the name for me is
Okay.
I've been out there. I can speak to it.
Okay.
So this deck is proposed to be put on the back of the house where the red box is on this sketch, and it's completely within the 50-foot buffer. So when this house was built, not all that long ago, it was built right to the 50-foot buffer, so the deck will slop over onto it. So what we will condition it with is that it be built on sonotubes, precast footings, no more than 12 inches in diameter.
They're 8 inches square at the top, they go down to like a foot square at the bottom, and then it's a 2 foot footing on that, attached to that.
Under,
5 feet overall.
underground?
4 feet below grade to the bottom of the footing.
Yeah.
So they're poured concrete.
Yeah, they're precast.
They're precast.
Precast. Concrete, yeah.
Looks like a little pyramid type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, typically.
And how many of them?
4. There'd be 14 feet off the foundation with a 2-foot cantilever past that, 16 overall.
And 4 across.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been out there. It's all lawn.
It's already a lawn.
It's all lawn. It's not going to disturb anything other than lawn. One thing I am going to condition it on, if you approve, is that the original order of conditions for building the house never got a certificate of compliance. So we want a certificate of compliance to close the order.
Even as-built?
I'm sorry?
An as-built too?
At this point, it's a little late. I think there's an as-built for the septic system anyway. I think that's what this cut is from. So you will have to approve a variance to work within the 50-foot buffer, and then a -3 determination. If you want to talk about mitigation for the disturbance, it's up to you.
Well, if I understand correctly, it's already disturbed?
It's already lawn.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the disturbance is gonna be minimal.
Yeah. And, but there's an open order of conditions on it?
It's not an open order, no, it's a expired order, but it needs to have CFC to get it off the books.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a condition. Other than that, it's up to you.
Did that order include the lawn at all? Putting in the lawn and...
Oh, yes. Long ago, it was building the house, putting in the septic system, doing the landscaping, the whole 9 yards. And it's all been done for many years.
Okay, well,
At least remediation?
well, I don't know what kind of remediation, since it was approved for disturb it, put a lawn there, apparently.
Is there an area that we could have them plant towards the end, to where, you know what I mean? Towards the edge of the lawn, or, I don't know if there is an option to do anything in the existing property to mitigate the building into that.
It's all trees behind the lawn.
What is it?
It's all trees behind the lawn anyway.
Yep.
So your lawn and trees.
The lawn's like 30 feet deep.
So we're facing a situation where this was built, and then the lawn was installed under that permit, within 50 feet.
Right, without,
So it's kind of,
without, quote unquote, without coming through us, but that's
No,
already done.
no, they did come.
No, they had an order,
With the lawn and everything?
the
or-
whole thing.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so this
Okay,
isn't,
okay, never mind
this
that.
isn't disturbing anything that's not already, hasn't already.
Okay,
So,
I'm sorry, I misunderstood that it was already, the yard itself, the lawn was approved.
Okay, the chair would entertain a motion to issue a variance to work within the 50-foot buffer zone.
So moved.
Second. Actually, I have a question.
Yeah, any discussion?
Regarding whether we have a quorum, if I abstain, I know the party, his son is my son's friend.
My understanding is that,
If I abstain, but not recused, but I don't know if the problem if I'm also a second.
correct me if I'm wrong, Frank, if we have a quorum at the meeting, then it's just the total number of commissioners present, not who votes, is that correct?
Yep.
So if you abstain but don't recuse,
Yes.
then my understanding is we have a quorum.
Yeah, my question was, am I allowed to second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Just want to make sure I don't do anything out of that.
Any discussion, further discussion? You in a butter, sir?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstaining.
2 to 1, one abstain.
Got it.
Chair would entertain a motion to close the hearing, issue a -3 determination, and approve the project presented with special conditions that the, what do we need, Frank? That the order of conditions be, how do we want to word it?
Standard order conditions with the addition of requirement for a CFC on the old order.
With the special conditions, standard order conditions with a need to issue a COC for the old order.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstaining.
Abstain? Okay. Take care of that COC. Talk to Frank about it.
We'll talk to you about it.
Contact the office.
Okay. Very good. So, all set?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Did you sign in?
When, oh, that,
Did you sign in, sir, so that we know who you are?
Oh, sure. We have always come,
Right over there.
okay.
It will come to you.
Sir?
Okay. Next one. Okay. I don't see approving the previous minutes on the, oh yeah, they are.
Oh, thank you.
Have you had a chance to look at the minutes from the second? I did. Lee?
Anything wrong? You just came as an email, right?
Yeah.
I was wondering, because I received 2 minutes, not minutes,
Agenda, that was
and no
error.
minutes. I'm
You were like,
like,
where's my present? I just got them done yesterday.
I've read them already. You read them, Ed?
Yes. So,
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
so moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, what do you got on here? Your business here, sir?
So, my name is Sean Fenley. I'm a local hunter, fisherman, and conservationist. And the other day, opening day of the season, I went bow hunting to the hospital grounds. And I noticed the new signs that you guys posted for rules. And on the signs, everything's perfectly reasonable, but one of the things under the hunting regulations was there's no hunting 150 feet from it. I believe it's at a trail or a cleared, marked trail or a cleared area.
Yep.
So the problem with this is, first off, this goes over and above the state regulations for setbacks for hunting. The only setbacks for discharge of a firearm or hunting in the state of Massachusetts are 500 feet from an occupied dwelling,
Right.
which it puts a lot of areas in the conservation areas out of huntable areas as it is, or the discharge of a firearm over a state paved road or within 150 feet of a state road. The state road is defined as a street in a town or a highway or whatever. It is not a trail, it is not a marked trail, it is not a cut trail. It has never been and never has been that. For a perfect legal example, if you look at Burridge Pond, it's one of the largest waterfowl hunting areas in Massachusetts. Every trail is 10 feet from the water. If that was a Massachusetts state law, the whole area would not be. My issue is now that if this is a rule that is in effect in Hanson, you literally have discounted almost every piece of conservation area in Hanson from hunting legally. Every time you have a trail, you have 150 foot on either side of it, so a 300-foot swath cut through the woods, which is unhuntable. And with the way the trails are cut and intersecting, it makes huge areas, if you look at any map, the way the trails intersect, unhuntable. What it does also is the places that are huntable, you're pushing the hunter 150 feet past the trail in the woods. Chances are, if it's deer hunting, the deer are 30 feet off the trail on game trails. This would force the hunter that's hunting the deer now 150 feet in the woods to have to hunt that animal and aim towards the trail. When before, they were not doing this. We know the setbacks, we know where we can shoot, where we can't shoot. This isn't so much an issue of bow, but when shotgun and muzzleloader season kicks in, you're basically forcing the hunter to shoot in an unsafe direction, which is not really doable. You're going to force hunters to leave the town, which we already have a deer problem, which I think everyone knows is pretty severe as it is, and without herd management, it's going to cause several problems.
Well, we're talking about a Conservation Commission rule, not a state law.
I realize that.
So, I appreciate your commentary about the state regulations and all that, and we're not unaware of that. But this was a rule we put into effect, was it last year? Was it? I forget when. I think it was last year.
Been a while.
I mean, it might have been a couple of years ago. So you're asking us to revise the rule, which we can consider, but right now it's the rule.
Mhm. No, I understand that. As I understood, these rules were taken from Duxbury, correct?
I'm not sure about this specific one. Some of them were.
Some of them, as I understand it, what was done in Duxbury with this, it was used as an anti-hunting measure. Duxbury is a huge waterfowl area. A lot of places, due to private land, you're unable to hunt. Due to roads, you're unable to hunt. Due to setbacks from houses, you're unable to hunt. all their areas were open to hunting before, that have trails on them, are now off areas because you can't hunt. It was put in place to prevent people from hunting.
Well, that's what Duxbury did. So, what you're asking us to do is reconsider the rule. I don't know if we want to do that tonight or not, but.
I would think we would have to put it on that.
Yeah.
And put it on the agenda. That's a minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
So are any of the other rules questionable? 'Cause,
No, if that's the only one.
It's just the 150.
It just goes over and above what the state requires, and I don't know how often everything is met, but it's a limited time, so you might lose an entire season hunting, and that's gonna leave the deer population unchecked. That's why it's a timely manner at this point.
Well, that's the rule we have in place. So we have to post it for a meeting to reconsider.
Yeah, it has to be open to the public.
Right. So the first time we could reconsider it would be the first Monday in November.
Wednesday.
Wednesday in November.
Out of curiosity, if we were to do that, what would you propose as the change on that, or would you just say strike that
The
rule?
state of Massachusetts, with their hunter education, we have the toughest gun laws in the country.
We're not concerned about
Oh, no, I
the state.
know.
Oh, you know, I'm just wondering, is he suggesting we strike that line entirely?
I'm
or-
suggesting you
or
strike
modify
it entirely, and this is the reason why, I'm gonna mention the state, but there's a reason behind it. The level of hunter education and firearms education required to possess a firearm in the state of Massachusetts goes above and beyond. We have hunters that are well educated about a lot of other states. We understand these GPS maps to spy their setbacks. This is how I started going through and putting in the 150-foot trails. And it just found that there's very few areas. There are still some areas, but it's limited. If you were to go in and I was to be hunting in one area, and you cut a new trail, you just basically, it gives you a paintbrush to just paint out the areas you can't hunt. Which I know you guys do great work with your trails, the conservation system, and building everything and maintaining everything. But every time it's done now, you're just eliminating more and more areas by this rule. And it's just, we've always had such great management, you've done such great work in the past, you've done everything for the sportsmen, for access issues and hunting and everything. And this rule just seems it goes against everything that you guys stand for. And I just don't understand how you put it in place.
I would think that if the goal of that rule, I mean, granted, whatever Duxbury may have done, that's Duxbury's problem. But if the goal of it is essentially, I would assume, or at least the on paper rule, would be to prevent people from firing across the trail for safety reasons. Could we not just simply revise it to say that firing positions must not cross over an existing trail, so that way it's fine if you're shooting away from the trail, but not across the trail?
That would suffice, yes.
I mean, common sense says don't do that, but
Most
sometimes you have
hunters
to
won't shoot
common
across
sense
the
on
trail
board.
anyway. But you have to understand, when you're out hunting a lot of times, there's certain areas you can't get through. We use the trails for access. The
Yeah.
deer use the trails, the deers are next to the trails.
Yeah.
One of the things, I take my children out there, 4 and 5, and I can't have them bushwhacking through the woods
Yeah.
trying to hunt. You need to be on a trail.
Yeah, no, what I'm getting at is, if our intention with that is basically just human safety, just, they don't want you 100 feet, but you make a good point, if you're now 150 feet off the trail, you're aiming towards the trail where the bear
Correct.
is. That kind of defeats the point of that rule. If the rule, if assuming it's not the Duxbury thing that you're saying, but if the rule is basically just to prevent bullets from crossing over the trail, then you're much better off allowing it, but just
From
simply.
the trail or if it's close
Well,
to
just
the
change the rule that says no, however you legally phrase it, but no firing line should cross over a trail.
Okay, this needs to be a public meeting, and it's not posted for this
I
meeting.
understand that, but if we're
So we're-
saying we open to the public to discuss all of it, or do we want to post what the change might be?
I think we need to post that we want to discuss.
Okay, that's fine.
being a life safety issue to you, because the way the rules currently sit, they're putting the public at risk.
Sure.
Can we ask, or can I ask, that we get similar rules from surrounding towns? What other towns around us do, so that we can
Yeah, we can.
compare to see if ours
We can do
is.
anything.
I think we did that, right?
Right, so Dave, so
We might have, yeah.
for
Well, we
tonight,
can get them again.
Well, all I'm suggesting is we really don't want to
Go for it.
have this discussion because it's not posted.
Yeah, no, what I'm getting
We've
at,
got the
do we want to
input
just
from
simply
the
vote to
citizens.
post it?
Pardon?
Do we want to just simply put it on the next meeting?
Yeah.
And have it, okay,
Yeah, I think that's what we need to do.
okay.
I don't know, because we don't have to revisit the whole thing all over again
That's fair.
in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But of course, you're more than welcome to come and represent your point. But I think we're out of line to discuss it now, because we can't vote.
Can we request it be on the 6th meeting, or is that something, like, is there room on this November 6th?
Yeah, we can add it as a discussion item.
It's still, what's that, 3 weeks away? I think?
Yeah, November 6th.
Yeah, so there's no problem putting it on there. I'm just trying to make sure we don't break any other rules by
Yep, discussing it.
discussing it now.
Yep.
Sure, my intention was only just to understand it, not to change it.
So we can post that for the next meeting, sir, and you're certainly welcome to represent your case. If we don't have anyone here that's interested, then we put in a minority position, so we can kind of open it for a brief discussion and a vote. If there's other citizens here, then we have to do that. Sound fair?
That sounds very fair.
About the best we can do.
No, that's fine, I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for your input, appreciate it.
Thank you. See you all at the next meeting, 6:30, same time?
Yeah, is it open for 6:30? Yeah, we'll put.
Yeah, we can put discussions on it.
Okay, thank you.
Same time, please.
And have you signed in?
Well, too. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. What do we got here? Wildlands Trust. Is this related to this email, Ron?
Yeah, yep,
From Tess.
yep, just trying to square down a date, and actually Phil was asking about it.
Oh, yeah, well, this is what I thought, yeah, so we need to tour the Sleeper, and what else? Poor Meadow,
Palmetto,
Sleeper.
Sleeper,
I don't know about Thomas Mill, she doesn't mention that.
it's these two.
Yeah,
So her updated dates are on the, I don't know if you guys are around.
I'm no longer free on the 9th, well, Phil and I did it last time.
Yep,
I'm no longer free on the 9th, oh boy.
But she's asking about the 21st, 23rd, and 25th.
so next week, Monday, Wednesday, or Friday.
I'm not there, I need to be, I'm unavailable for 3 days. During the day, like, could be the first 2 evenings.
No, she's got to do the day.
Yeah, that's what I asked on this one, huh?
I can do it either the 21st or the 23rd, I can't do the 25th. Last time I think we did it sometime in the morning.
24th or 23rd,
23rd or
so Monday or Wednesday.
It's just a matter of knowing which day.
Monday or Wednesday,
And how many people need to be there? Is one enough?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not a meeting, it's just,
Okay, I'll shoot her an email in the morning.
as long as we don't have a quorum, we don't have to post it, so.
Yep,
Yep, so
okay,
Yeah, it's a walk, they do a walkthrough. Now that, Sleeper issue with the parking lot could come up, I don't know.
email test, okay.
Do you need other people, or is it not necessary?
No, it's just
I can be there, it's not a problem.
It's just, they walk the property,
Okay.
and they take pictures, take GPS for it,
Oh, okay, they just need.
and then they issue a report, so somebody from conservation needs to go.
Okay.
Last time Phil and I both went, so you're welcome if you want to go.
So Monday works good for you?
I think the only issue is if we have a quorum. Yeah, I could do the 21st.
was that
I'll
something
post
that
an
TJ
agenda.
wants to do?
Just to be safe.
Well,
I mean, if TJ wants to go, you'll have to post it.
I'm just gonna post one just to be safe.
What? Okay.
I'll post one to be safe.
Okay, in that case, it doesn't matter who goes.
Yeah, and if you go, I mean, if he doesn't go, no big deal, at least we,
Yes, just see what time she wants to go.
Okay.
I'm open all day,
alright.
both days. Okay, that's takes care of that. October special town meeting,
I just put it on there in case you guys had anything you wanted to add from the meeting, but I think we're all aware of everything.
yeah.
Yep.
I know.
Yep, so we don't have to do it.
We should have asked for more, we got it pretty easy.
Yeah, all of our articles passed, as well as the property article, 16, I think it was, passed as well. You're aware of that, Frank, right?
Yes, CPC, talking about,
Pardon?
you're talking about the CPC? Or the ones that we have to?
No, the ones we have to, the ones that the assessors have.
She's gonna have you sign for the checks tonight.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, I
So
listed them all
Are you back up to full time now, or is that immediately effective, or?
Yeah.
this week, right?
See you back.
Congratulations.
We'll be back down this road.
The only one I was confused
We got it.
about is the one that we were talking about, the wording had changed, that we were gonna, somebody was gonna stand up and change the wording. I'm not sure we got.
Oh, well,
But this,
I can enlighten you guys on that. So, that was the one for the full-time,
Yeah.
restoring the full-time position.
Right.
And we knew ahead of time that the finance committee was opposed, generally opposed to using free cash.
Right.
And so Frank, with his research, came up with the reality, and we could fund it from the NOI fund.
And that's what we put in as our suggested.
Well, the way it went was, I went to Beth the Thursday before the town meeting, to ask her how we could get that, how to do it.
Revised back, yeah.
Yeah. And she said, well, if Sean will, the moderator will let you make the motion, you can present the article that way. But she said he usually doesn't do it, so if you get there early enough, you can ask him.
Mhm.
Anyway. But then we went down to see Lisa Green, and she said that she would turn in the revised funding source as a note to him.
Oh, okay.
So when he presented the article, he would have the revised funding.
And he
source.
did.
He didn't revise the article itself, just the funding source. Well, it did, yeah. There was some debate from legal about whether we could fund it from that, but thanks to Frank's research, I had the documentation with me, and it was legit, so she agreed to that. So then when it came up, it was presented that way. So we didn't have to do
Presented
it.
correctly, okay.
Yeah, so we didn't have to do an amendment.
so, yeah, you still have it correct, but you tried to put it on the wrong.
They tried, tried to put it on the different article, but, so that's how we did it.
Okay. So, yeah.
That turned out to be a lot easier than trying to do what we got.
Thank you, Mary, for clarification. Okay, that's not a- It seemed like we had made changes that we shouldn't have. I wanted-
Oh, no, it was all up front.
No, we as in selectmen.
And the, actually, oh, yeah.
You guys.
Yeah. No, it was all fine. We had to do a little verification, but it was good. It was all good. What else? Conservation property list, that's what we're talking about, right?
Yep.
So we're okay with that. Open space recreation plan.
That pass two, was that?
I'm not sure what that,
We just keep it on the agenda.
oh, okay.
Oh, Dave.
Property management updates, I don't have a lot, but I have some, and some of it's gonna take some discussion. Just a question, the nesting boxes need to be cleaned out, right?
I believe Bonnie already did it, but I'll go figure it out.
Okay, that was just a question. If they haven't been cleaned, we'll have to do it every month or whatever.
That's not wrong, you make a good point, we're not gonna do it this way.
FYI, 3 of the boxes, one's been destroyed and 2 of them are down up at Bonnie Hill
Really?
Meadow, yeah.
Okay.
The 2 that are down, you know when you get to the big meadow, the second meadow, the
Yeah.
big meadow, and there's a right to the, immediately to the right, the perimeter trail goes there.
Yes.
There was one about halfway down.
That's an open, what the heck would have that down? Wind or something maybe?
Well, I don't know, that one and the one at the end of that, where it turns.
Yeah,
Those
that was,
two.
the other one's medium.
The one halfway down, somebody picked it up and put it by the kiosk, so it's
Wow.
there.
Okay.
The other one, right where it turns is one, looking straight ahead, you're gonna get on the trail.
Yeah.
There's one there. That's there, but it fell off the pole, so,
Okay.
needs to be reattached.
Yeah, go up there and do that.
Broken, like somebody forcefully.
No, it looks like it, I don't know, maybe screws, rusted, I don't know, I didn't examine, I was just walking
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
My guess is it's just wind knocked it over.
Yeah, something, I mean, the pole's up,
Yeah.
it's just that the box is off.
Oh.
It doesn't look damaged or anything.
Okay.
It looks like it just maybe, I'm thinking it might even slip down the pole, that one, it's right at the bottom of the pole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a metal screw going through that. I'll go take a look at it. Yeah.
It's on the ground.
Yeah.
The other one's by the kiosk. I was in a hurry, I was running late,
Yeah.
so I didn't have time to.
However it got there, I'll get it back.
But the big, do you have any left, any new uninstalled ones?
No, I don't.
All right, well, again, you go down there past those 2, you take a left, to go down the lower end of the middle. And then there's 2 that are close together.
Yes.
Well, there's 2, and then there's another two further on.
Yeah,
The two further on, one of them is broken. The front of it's torn right off. So
Okay.
it can't really be fixed, it needs another.
yeah. I wonder what that is.
I don't know.
Probably an animal.
And the pole's bent.
Oh, that leads me to think vandalism, because that's,
Well, I have my suspicions, I'm not sure if it's vandalism, but the pole's bent and the box is broken. So that one needs to be replaced, basically. The other two just need to be reattached.
yeah, no problem.
So I was just up there today, and I would have looked more closely, but I was already running late, so I had to.
Well, it must have been fairly recent. I was up there, what, 3 weeks ago, and they were all right, so I'm guessing something happened.
Yeah. Again, the one that, the bent pole with the broken box, yeah, I don't know, for that one. The other two they're not damaged or vandalized.
Well, I think that pole could have just literally been an animal trying to get the bird.
Maybe.
Yeah, but someone,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
It could be, anyway, that's.
Yeah.
If you have a chance, that's fine, if you can't do it, let me know, I'll put it on the list of stuff to do.
Yeah, no, I'll swing up there.
Okay, great, thanks. A big chunk of the tool order came in today. I picked the stuff up. It's mostly it's the Eagle battery operated stuff and the DeWalt tools. There's still some more from that order that's back ordered, and there's a few other things. That's about, what is that, $2,300, I think? Something like that, out of our 3,200. So we're in good shape. Budget-wise, we still got another $1,000.
Yep,
Uh,
2341.
Kewanee storage, I talked to Chris the other day. I want to get together with him. He said it's wet in parts of that building. I want to put the tools in there. I've ordered a steel cabinet to put them in so we can lock them. Not that they're going to get stolen, but there's so many tools in that building, you're going to get mixed up with the other stuff in there. So I think we're best off, put a cabinet in, put them in there. Not so much a theft issue, it's just a misplaced issue.
Yeah.
But Chris told me that it's wet in some of those areas, so he wants to get together with me to find a place that's dry to put this stuff. So I'll do that and get all the tools down there. I'll do an inventory of them as well, the serial numbers, and I've got one of those little etcher things. I think what I'm gonna do is put a spot of bright paint on everything, same color, orange, yellow, whatever. And I'm gonna just put a CC or just like some initial something
Yeah.
on the engraving, just so we can identify it.
Yeah.
So I'll go work on that as I get the stuff. The Vista slope, there was an issue there between Kewanee and Smitty's. That slope goes down to where the Bay Circuit Trail crosses, and we fixed it up last year.
Yeah.
Chris is gonna spray hay on it. That's the latest plan from Kewanee, so. Hasn't done it yet, should do it soon. Highway has agreed to mow the meadows.
Have they done it yet?
They mowed most of the first meadow,
Okay,
and it's fine, no.
okay.
It's okay. So they said they'll do it, and I talked to the new highway superintendent. He was fine with it. I talked to Steve, the foreman, he's fine with it. And I talked to Dan, the guy that runs the mower, and he's thrilled, because he gets multiple whiz with his machine. And it's fun.
And we might get a machine
And if we get a machine, it'll...
that we could use for that
And
or other.
and they've been mowing the perimeter trails still, so, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. So it's been great, highway's been super. I'm gonna send another email out to all the volunteers, and I'll CC the commission. I decided to break up all the different stuff we got to do now, we have a budget. I'm gonna leave off the bridge though at Indian Crossway until we find out more about the Hubble situation. But I put everything else on there, but at this time I'm gonna break it into little bite-sized pieces. Because some of them are just little 1 or 2 hour things, instead of just like, we gotta do all this work. See if maybe somebody will come forward and say, gee, I can give you an hour or two.
Yeah.
You know, like that tree you cut up, I wanna cut them into pieces, blow it up and
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, well, okay.
So I'm gonna break it up like that, so that we don't necessarily have to have a work party, maybe some of them just be done.
And those type of things they could just do by themselves.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I'm gonna put it out that way, this time, be a longer list, but it'll be bite-sized stuff.
Yep,
Um,
that sounds good.
So that'll be coming out as soon as I get a chance to do it. Rocky Run, just an FYI, trash situation's been pretty good. Rocky Run, lots of beer cans. I'll bet I picked up maybe 40 beer cans the last 2 weeks. In the parking lot, cases at a time.
In the parking lot.
Just off the parking lot, where
Yeah.
that little trail going down in the stream on the left side as you look at the kiosk. Yeah, I mean, literally 20 or 30 feet away. It's all just dumped there.
What about up at the campsite?
Oh, that's clean. Nothing up there. I was up there yesterday.
Wow.
Nothing at all. Of course, the fact that a lot of those hemlocks have come down and kinda made it hard to camp there, might help. But, yeah, no trash at all, right? The same way with down below, we had the vandalism with the camera,
Yeah.
nothing. So it's all in the parking lot and a little miscellaneous stuff along the road. Yeah, it's weird with beer cans, but they're all pretty close together and they're all pretty pristine, so I picked up about $2 worth of it.
So, yeah, can you put that into the conservation fund?
Yeah, right, it's going right in there. This relates to it, I guess. Well, CPC, quick update, they have some questions for us. They want to know if the Thomas Mill CR is complete. No,
We're still waiting for the state.
okay,
They have a backlog of reviews.
okay. So that's the answer to that. They're just looking to see what they can close out as well. They also want to know about, the Bonnie Hill Trail project, and we spent all the money for that.
I'm not sure that there's not a couple of grand left there.
Really?
I think there is.
I think we have a balance. I don't know if I brought my thing with me. There's some in there, though.
There is some money left
There is?
in there.
Did we apply that Japanese knotweed bill toward it
We can
from last year?
do whatever we want with it.
Apply it to what?
We did apply a couple things.
Yeah, there's $2,200 left in there.
But we did put that Japanese knotweed job, because we had the machine and the two guys up there.
Yeah, it was 5,000 and now it's
Okay, now it's,
22.
okay, now it's 22. So, okay, well, CPC would like to close it out as soon as they can, so we should spend it, I guess, or give it back to them.
Well, I mean, if you have work up on Bonnie Hill,
That's what it's gonna do.
that's a source of funds.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me
Do that.
get somebody in there.
Okay.
Goes like
I mean, don't waste it.
No.
But I mean,
Let me give,
you got a legitimate,
well, the thing that comes to mind is more of that Japanese knotweed.
yeah,
And maybe instead of me cutting it out of there, see if I can get Callahan to come back and do it. But let me see if I can do that. About 2,200, you said? Okay. Let me see if I can do something with that.
I'll email you the amount tomorrow.
They had also, they just wanted feedback if they need it. They're planning to, right now, the open space fund that they have is depleted. But when they get money replenished into the undesignated fund, they want to move it to the open space fund.
town meeting.
Well, yeah, they just wanted to know if we had any feedback about it, as well. It was just a question, they just wanted to let us know that's what their plan was.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason why we would object to it. It's to our advantage to have an open space, right? So that's more of an FYI, that's what they're planning to do. So moving on to the somewhat controversial issue, what do we do about the geocache situation? Now, you got a message from somebody that's already put 3 in there, now they want permission?
I passed that along to Steve.
Right.
He looked into it, I think.
Yeah.
And I responded to that other email before and never heard back. The one that you got before it to me.
What do you got?
So, what, I don't know, I'm not sure how to do this, or what to do.
I get the sense, I'm just the agent here, you guys decide, but I get the sense that you're totally against this,
Me, I'm not against it.
and I don't understand your position.
I'm not against it at all.
Just don't want people to
I just figured out how we manage it.
conservation.
So the only thing I wanted to throw in, and I mentioned it last time, but I actually went back and looked at it, there's not a single conservation property that doesn't have at least 2 already in it, and has had them for at least since geocaching was invented.
Right, but that doesn't,
But, I know.
that's not management.
No, I understand, I'm just saying.
That's no one has
I'm just
to
saying,
say.
the one, there's 2 in Smitty's Bog that are like 10 feet off, to the side of the trail.
Yeah.
And those have been there since like 2018. The one thing I want to point out, because we didn't really go into it fully last time, but the foot traffic was the main concern, and I looked at each of those. They get at most 1 attempt at them per month. Some of them go 3 or 4 months without an attempt. And that doesn't mean that's one person who successfully found it and 1,000 who didn't. You record when you fail. That's part of the game. You have to record your failures too. So when I say one, I mean period.
I don't think the issue is foot traffic.
Oh, that was what you said, you were worried about
I think,
people going off.
well,
making-
well, in the wetlands, yeah, I mean, that sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of a litter question. I mean, what's different between painted rocks and geocaches?
So a geocache is never disguised as an object, and it's against the rules to place it under a rock or anything that disturbs the land. Basically, what the 90% of them are probably just like, they find a knot in a tree or something like that.
No, I understand what they do.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that you never disturb the land, it's not allowed.
My only concern, and despite what Frank thinks, I'm not against geocaching at all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we have some control, because if we don't have any control, and the example I bring up is the little cute painted rocks.
Yes.
2 or 3 of them are cute little things that kids do.
Yeah.
100 of them is litter.
Yes.
And people don't like to see all that
Yep.
stuff. So my issue is managing the experience for the citizens
Yeah.
on the trails. I'm not against geocaching or really cute little painted rocks.
Yeah.
It's just when they can be overwhelming.
Yep. So the only reason I was bringing up what the rules are for placement of a geocache is because I've placed them. So the reason why I was saying it is, one, that it would never be, even if it was a cupated rock, which it can't be. The geocache has to be hidden. If it's visible from in plain sight, it's not allowed. You can't just leave it out. It has to be obscured in some way. So it's always behind something, or in the knot of a tree, or, you know, if there's a rock wall, there's like one little gap, and then put it in there, or something like that. The goal is it's not supposed to be easy to find. Even if you're standing right next to it, you should probably spend 10 minutes trying to figure out where it is. They're also very small, and they're always made out of like it can never impersonate nature. It can't be a fake rock.
All right, it's not my intention to argue about geocaching
But they also have to be 500 feet apart, so you're never going to see a pile of
per se. I wish you did understand, my concern is managing the experience for people who like to take a walk.
So what do you think we need
For
to
instance,
go through?
Chronicle did a thing on this woods up in Lynn or someplace, where some woman is taking it on herself, public property,
Yeah.
to put all these cute little gnomes and dolls hidden in trees, up in branches,
Yeah.
it was so cute. Chronicle did a whole thing on it. And basically, it's a woods full of stuff. Yeah, it's artistic, but I'm not sure if that's what we want. So, that's my question.
So
How
there's
do
two
we
different
manage?
things here. How do we manage geocaching, and how do we manage this woman from Lynn not coming to Hanson?
Well,
No, it's the same issue. How do we manage people putting stuff
well, I can answer that.
in the brush?
So I can answer that. The rules of geocaching are that as the owners of the property, we can demand their removal any time. I can go onto the app and say, conservation says get this off our property, and then they will give me the exact location, and I can go take it out. Or I can just go do it myself. I have access to the app. I'm a geocacher. I can literally go find their cache and just say, this is mine now, and throw it in the trash, and then report it missing. They'll take it down. So we can do that in the event that somebody places it in a way that we don't want. And in terms of the overwhelming placement or something like that, basically, Smitty's Bog is full up. There's no more room there. If you go to try to place one, it won't let you.
Okay, could we not just discuss geocaching? Because I don't care about geocaching. I'm fine with it.
Right.
My concern is, how do we control people putting stuff along the trail?
We need a
Don't call it geocaching.
No,
Call it something else.
Ban the stuff.
Decoration.
What I'm trying to say is geocaching is different from stuff
Yeah,
on the
that's what I'm
trail.
saying, it's almost...
You're trying to merge one topic into the other so you can oppose it.
No, I'm not. I'm asking, how do we manage people putting stuff on the trail?
Ban people putting stuff with the exception of geocaching, which is different. It's not putting stuff. If you can go find the geocache, I'll tell you the exact location. If you can find it, I'd be amazed. Without the clues and the hints to find it, it's like a riddle. Literally, there's a riddle.
I'm already on record as not opposing geocaching. So can we stop arguing about that?
Okay.
My concern is, how do we manage people putting stuff?
Are you talking like a
That's called
bylaw?
littering, and we just don't allow it.
You know what I mean? It's like we
Tell me what to
can't,
do with it.
you know, how can we do it other than...
I don't know, that's my question. Do we care? Do we just say, hell with it, it doesn't matter?
If somebody does cute little things, I mean, right now, if somebody puts trash, we pick it up. We have bylaws against trash and all the rest, we still have to go and pick it up.
Right.
But if somebody does cute little
Well,
rocks...
define trash.
What?
Define trash.
That's what I'm trying to get at, is somebody paints a little rock and puts a nice little rock there, is
Trash.
that trash?
Yes.
No,
Well, I
maybe
don't-
no.
I don't know.
But then once you get 50 of them and they're up in trees and whatever you're saying, and so how do we need to define it?
Right, That's the issue.
Anything that nature didn't put there is trash, including a geocache, unless we authorize it. I'm not against the idea of having to authorize it, because technically they're supposed to. Those people placed it within, they lied on the app when they said they got permission.
So any foreign object placed in Conservation Commission without our our approval is subject to being removed.
Well, it's just a matter of conversation and come up and consensus. I don't actually have an agenda on it one way or the other, except that we somehow can manage the property.
Do we have anything?
Well, we
I mean,
don't have that.
One option is, don't do anything at all. Just let it go.
Right now, it's not happening, right?
But we don't have a big issue so far.
Right.
But the geocache thing brought up a potential issue. So, do we wait till we have a problem, or do we set up some kind of guideline ahead of time?
I think we should do a
If the answer is we wait
guideline.
till we have a problem, then we can stop it right now.
I think we should have a guideline for what I just said, that anything that's placed on conservation property without our permission is subject to removal. And that includes geocaching, and that includes everything else.
I agree.
So then, we can then register all the geocaches that we think are not making people disturb wetlands, and if there are some that are in wetlands, and if people are actually disturbing physical wetlands, we would have to move them or remove them. But we would have them registered, we know exactly where they are.
Well, right, but, I mean, in some ways, my suggestion is to just ignore the whole damn thing, because as Steve already pointed out, there could be 100 geocaches, so we don't have any idea how many or where they are.
Right.
He does, I guess, but.
I know exactly.
But it might be something we can't enforce.
Right, because somebody else could make another app very similar to geocache that lets a million people put little fuzzy puppies somewhere.
Well, we can enforce it very easily. As property owners, you can contact, through the
geocache.
Yeah, right through the app. I can just go on and say, Conservation Commission owns the following areas, please remove your geocaches. They'll be taken down immediately.
Yeah, I don't know is that our thought, or do we just want them registered? Do we want them registered with us? The ones that are existing, somebody owns them, or could you register?
Well, despite the fact that apparently I've been labeled as being opposed to all this, my suggestion is to not do anything about it and just ignore the whole thing, because I don't want to be running around the woods chasing people around. So,
I agree with that
despite what you guys
100%.
think my point of view is, my actual point of view is, I think we're better off not doing anything.
I'll take care of the geocaches. I go find them anyway. If I find one that is placed inappropriately, I'll get rid of it. I'm happy to do that, because when a new one pops up, I go find it.
Well, it's only a matter of to consensus. What do we do? Nothing, something, or?
I would think that we just follow the geocache rules, that they have to get our
No,
permission first.
well, I'm just trying to generalize it.
Yeah.
Everything is litter until we say it's not. It would be a good way of putting it.
Like, we must have a litter bylaw, I haven't read it.
It's pretty vague.
Is it vague enough to cover what you're saying?
What I would propose, how about this as a proposal? Anything that nature didn't put into our space is litter unless otherwise authorized. I don't know how you phrase that. Any object of any type that is left behind in our space is litter unless we have given permission for it to be there. Doesn't matter what it is, if you put up a sign, if you put a geocache, if you put a pretty painted rock. It's all litter. Unless we gave you authorization and told you it's the next rock.
All right.
That's pretty straightforward, but I don't think we have to pass a rule for that. That just falls under, that's just litter.
Yeah.
Anything that's been
That's
grown.
I wonder if it just follows litter, and if somebody throws 100 painted rocks in,
Litter.
it's up to your discretion, or our discretion, if we want to clean it up or not. Because we're not going to have them come out and take it, because we don't know who them are.
Right. That's why I think we should just ignore the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Trying to enforce it if possible.
I agree.
Well, we voted last time to pass a rule. Right now, we've actually passed a rule for geocaches specifically.
Well, we're gonna have to, partly that was in response to your saying that their rule says they have to notify the property.
They do, yes.
But apparently, most of them don't.
Well, it's very easy to check the box and lie.
So, but I mean, that goes to my point of, if it's something we can't enforce, then what the heck are we doing?
Oh, we can enforce it.
We have other things to do with our time.
The enforcement would come in the form of, I can literally go into the geocache and say, here's a map of all of our spaces, these are banned, and then nobody's allowed to place them anymore.
Well, I would suggest then that if you're willing to do that, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not gonna do it.
No, what I would propose is,
You're the one that doesn't like it.
No. Okay, but you're
I'm just concerned about.
No, Dave has valid points, and we're all crap for no reason. All right, Dave, what I would propose is, I'm prepared to take responsibility for the geocaches.
Okay.
If any of them show up that I have not already found, and if I think that they're questionable, I'll get rid of them.
But Steve, we don't need to pass any kind of rule then, because that's their rule.
That is their rule, but we can choose to arbitrarily enforce or not enforce it at our pleasure.
We can do that anyway without having a rule. We can treat it as trash. We can
Yes.
remove it, and it would just would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
If Steve,
That's what I'm saying, is that I can tell you right now, I've found all of the geocaches, and none of them are placed in any way that would be harmful.
None of them are in wetlands. That's my
They're not in the
only
wet-
concern.
They're not in the wetlands, they're generally speaking, they're less than 5 to 10 feet from the trail itself, and they're usually like behind a rock or something.
I would suggest that if you find any in wetlands, you remove them.
Absolutely.
That's it.
okay,
Okay.
Then I will.
I don't know if we have to vote on anything, it sounds
No,
reasonable to me.
That's just falls under our normal, take care of
Don't
property.
tell anybody I'm opposed to geocaching. I'm not interested in it one way or the other.
I think we
I don't even care about it.
should do a bylaw called the Dave Mansfield
Anti-geocaching.
anti-geocaching.
No, I mean, realistically, as long as they're placed well, they're beneficial to us, because it gets a few more people to come visit our site. As long as they're going in there for the intention of enjoying nature, which is the whole point of that hobby. And generally speaking, they're not there to cause any trouble. If somebody goes in places that are directly adjacent to the wetlands and they're trying to get people to walk through a swamp, then yeah, that's what I
Are these all different invoices?
Each recording, well, it's under one
We gotta
warrant.
get signing here, because we got plenty.
It's under one bill.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah, but I put them all on there in case we ever have to look it up.
Oh, no, I thought you,
Each,
had like a
can you
tiny-
imagine?
Yeah.
I could have, then I was like, no, I'm gonna
I was
do this one.
imagining.
It looks like it when you get the agenda.
None of these are mine, right?
Thing you voted last time, or?
This one,
That's it?
this one,
That's mine?
yep, this you get no reimbursement.
Okay, I'll let them sign it. I'll stay away from that one.
I hope you use these little sticky notes.
What?
Oh, no, they.
Yeah, I am, I
Yeah,
put little
they're dated.
reminders. Sometimes they don't see them,
This one doesn't even have a paperclip, nothing on
it just must have fell off, but that's not like me.
it.
Did you skip one?
I'm gonna find it
No, I didn't,
now.
that's mine.
Wow.
So who's supposed to return it? Not us, right? And it's the little yellow sticky note, it's not for us.
No, that's for, Gina.
Oh, thank God.
Sorry, Chief.
Boy, I was so worried.
Frank was gonna be mad tomorrow.
What?
I lost a paperclip.
You lost a paper? Oh, what I didn't tell you guys was the meeting with Frank. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
Elm
short,
Street?
it's a
Yeah.
short conversation. Well, I was there, and he was there on time, and his buddy, his buddy,
What's your thing?
his buddy Steve was there too.
For you guys to sign? We're gonna wait for TJ anyway, so.
That Phil thing?
Yeah, I figured I'd get a start on it, and when people walk by the office, I've been trying to flag them down to sign too.
I looked at the letter in our packet, and I somehow flipped the names around, that it was from Phil addressed to TJ saying,
Oh, yeah.
thank you very much for your service. I'm like, whoa, what
What did we do?
What do you mean, we losing TJ too?
Oh, no, I had to get a chair that does stuff.
You scared me twice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't
No, you
mean
didn't
to.
scare me the first time.
So anyway, yeah, he was there, I was there, and Steve was the gentleman who was with him. We were all there, and,
The Zero Elm Street, right?
on Zero Elm, yeah. So we started off, and his engineer had flagged the center line of the proposed driveway through that first section of wetland off Elm Street. And then it followed along behind the abutters off to the left, excuse me, off to the left. And then it just stopped, because there's more wetlands too. Plus, that uplands is actually within the 50-foot. So we, all of a sudden it ended, so we tromped around there for about a half an hour looking for more flags, and we found the old flags that they put in before, the old orange ones. They didn't line up, so,
Trampled all over the wetlands.
well, so what happened was, now, we were all in agreement that the engineer didn't do his job. I'm going back to
So it was a
saying,
waste of your time.
Revisiting Friday,
how much filing that is for.
Friday, right?
So what his buddy Steve said was, he should have had the flag a 10-foot strip right through where they're gonna go,
Mm-hmm.
and do it all the way from Elm Street.
Even outside the wetlands. Yeah.
Well, everything within the 50
At least in the wetlands.
to get him back to where he wants to get his stuff, his hope. So that's what apparently he's done now. I'm waiting around, I'll find out what happened Friday.
Is it, to get there, you're saying trudging through, it's a lot of undergrowth, right? I mean, it's-
Actually, it's pretty open. It's
It
more
is?
open than you might think.
Okay.
There are a bunch of down trees across where they want to go in. So I guess when I don't know, we need to discuss it now, or not, but the first section is pretty open, and they can pretty much do it with a couple of little minor detours, so they don't have to hit any trees. But there are a bunch of down trees. So I guess the question is it okay for you to cut a path through the down trees?
We want them to leave the pieces they remove there, obviously.
Well, I mean, it's probably not anything we need to decide tonight, but this will come up,
Mm-hmm.
because I already know that one section does have, I don't know, maybe half a dozen, some of them pretty good size, across.
You have a chance now, you can do that.
So the question is gonna be, do we let them cut an access through the trees, or do they have to move the trees, or what? My opinion is it's easier to have them cut them than move them, they'll probably do less damage, but they're dead trees. Much to my surprise, frankly, not much of any issues on the first section at least. No, we'll see.
But it was the volume of wetlands that they're crossing is the problem.
Yeah, well, they're trying to keep it under 5,000 feet.
Do you see the wetland
Well,
flags?
that includes the 50-foot buffer, right? The 5,000, it's only wetlands itself? Okay. Well, they're hoping, but we'll see.
The wetland flags are still there?
The wet flags are there, yeah.
And the flags for where they want to go?
Well, that's what they didn't, they left us out there with no more flags.
But the idea is they're gonna have wetland flags and flags showing where they're gonna go.
Yeah, the
So you can
wetland
see
flags,
where they-
the wetland flags are there.
So you can see where they overlap.
There is a stream in there.
That's an important thing.
Yeah. And
That's gonna cause them a problem.
yeah, because they have to cross it to get in there.
It's probably intermittent, but
Well, you would think so, but there was water in it when we went there last, whatever it was, a week. As dry as it's been, and the rest of it was pretty dry, it wasn't mucky in there. But there was water in that drainage.
Should we see about getting a picture of it next time?
No, I'll take a picture or something. That's where the flag stop is.
Yeah.
That area is pretty wet, and there was water in it even now. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the biggest issue, I would think, from what I saw.
Well, I don't remember a stream per
Well, it's not a
se,
stream like, like,
But even a
Indian.
node of it on the dock,
it's yeah, it's not on the plan,
on the plan.
but it's there.
well, he'll end up having to put a culvert.
Oh, for the driveway, yeah, but how about driving across there? Just put something down and go over it. Well, we'll see what happens once we take a look. But, to my thinking, that's probably gonna be the single biggest thing to concern us, is that. Anyway, it's drier in there than you'd think, though, given how low it is. Heck, it's been dry, so that's it for that, and, we'll see him again this Friday and see what happens. Bill done signing stuff? Oh, how did it go down at the registry?
Saying,
How did it go at the registry of deeds?
haven't been.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Oh, that's what this,
That's what you just signed for.
okay.
Oh, yeah, they
All
wanted
the
them all
checks.
separately,
Oh, they-
right? That's why we did it all separately. They wanted it instead of just the one.
And you haven't heard from up about, from anywhere next door or whatever about them doing it?
Next door. That's the euphemism now?
Have you?
What?
Have you?
I have not, and I don't know if I should be pushing it, or you're okay doing it this way, or is it gonna cause issues, or?
Well, I mean,
I'm glad it's getting done.
I don't know if it's gonna cause any issues, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well said.
I'm gonna
We shall see.
spend what, $4,300?
Mm-hmm.
Of our money, right? I mean, that's,
Allow-
yeah, not your, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the town meeting, Laura tried to prevent debate about the Hubble thing, and her comment was that legal had told her it shouldn't cost more than $4,000, and everybody was fine with it, so I'd say that's a positive sign for this. Apparently anything under $5,000 is.
Yeah, at that meeting.
It was posted, right?
Yeah.
I don't-
Anything else? If there's nothing else, we could entertain a possible motion.
I will, propose a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was unanimous.
Mhm.